Welcome back, guys. Drew Peacock here, back with another video, and today I'm going to be answering some car related questions that you guys had for me. I don't know what I want to call this series. I feel like everyone and their mama who has a series similar to this calls it like tuner talk, so I don't really want to call it that, but let me know down in the comments what you think I should call this series. Anyway, it's pretty simple. You guys sent some questions to my Gmail. I'm just going to go through them and answer them and see if I can help you guys out with any issues. If you want to submit a question, you got to follow me on Instagram and wait till I announce it on my story, and then you guys can spam me. That way they're not just buried in my Gmail somewhere. So if you want to send me a question, follow me on Instagram, and I will go ahead and announce when to ask the questions through my Gmail. Anyway, let's dive right in with the first question. Here we go. What would you recommend for a first Mustang car? A 3-valve or a 5.0 Mustang? Alright, so this question isn't hard at all. It's pretty straightforward. One thing you gotta know is a 3-valve and a 5.0, they're completely different cars. Even when it comes to modding, a 5.0 is a lot more expensive to modify. So it all just depends on your budget. If you're looking for a clean 3-valve, you can spend $5,000 to like $8,000. For a clean 5.0, I mean, you're gonna be spending a lot for a clean one. So honestly, it just depends on budget. 3-valves are fine if you're just looking for something to get you into a V8. But if you want to build a power horse, then I would go with a 5.0. Hey Drew, I'm a high school student looking for first cars. In your opinion, what would be a good first car? My budget is up 10K at the most, but I want something more like 5K. So for 5K, I mean, when people ask me this question, this is a really hard question because I don't know your preferences. If you're into JDM and I'm recommending American muscle cars, then I'm wasting your time. So, I can give you a couple ideas. I do have a video on it, which would probably help you a lot more because I go into more details. But for $5,000, you can get a clean and new edge Mustang, good condition. You don't want to buy something with super high miles unless you really plan on rebuilding it anyways. But you can get a new edge Mustang. You can maybe get a decent 350Z. You, of course, can get a clean Honda of some sort. That's a good price to start out with, but it depends on what you're into. If you're looking to spend all $10,000, then you can buy a really nice 350Z or an S2000. If you're into imports, you could buy a 3-valve, maybe a Coyote, I don't know. A 240 if you're really looking to work on your car would be a good option, but those aren't really cheap anymore, so I don't know. But yeah, I do have a video on this and I go into more details about it, so go check it out. Alright, next question. Hey Drew, I've been looking on finally buying a nicer car, and I've got my eyes on a 2006 GTO. I want to mod it, but I'm not really experienced when it comes to working on a car. Is it wrong to take it to a mechanic and have them do the work for me? I feel like I'd be judged heavily in the car scene since it's not technically my build. Okay, no, it's not wrong. If you're not comfortable touching your car, don't touch your car because you're going to blow up your car. Me, I work on my car when I feel comfortable doing it. I'm not going to go and throw the cams on my car. I'm not going to do that. And I wasn't going to go and toss the supercharger on my car when I would have to take it 60 miles to have them tune it. I just take it to them and have them do it right the first time. I don't think you'd be heavily judged if you don't work on your car, but it all just depends on what you're doing. If you're taking it to the shop to have them install an axle back, that's one thing, but if you're taking it to the shop to have them install cams or build the motor, it's fine. I've seen a lot of people mod their car and install big components themselves, and they do a hokey ass job just skipping shit, just leaving shit, untethered and shit. It just varies from person to person. There's a lot of people that do their own work, but if you go and look at their work, an actual professional mechanic shop would laugh at that shit, or they would call it a hazard. So yeah, if you don't feel comfortable working on your car and it's something big, don't worry, just take it in. I take my shit in if I have to. I've done the trans myself. I've done all of the brakes myself. I've done the full exhaust myself. I do the intake manifold myself. I've done a lot of shit on my own car, but I'm not going to go and cam my own car. Fuck that. All right, next question. So what do you prefer, JDM or that American Muscle? This one is pretty self-explanatory. So I personally am a fan of American Muscle. I think the cars sound better. The V8s, I love the sound of a cammed V8. I mean, it's just classic American Muscle. That's just how I grew up. I do like JDM cars. I'm not a hater on every JDM car out there. Trust me, I do have JDM cars that I do want to buy and some that I'm going to buy. But personally, I'm a fan of that good old-fashioned American Muscle. What would be the best bang for your buck horsepower modification? As in, what would you invest into first to begin making your car faster? Thanks, Drew. So what should you do first to make your car faster? Tune it. Best bang for your buck. If you go and get a tune for your car to make it actually use whatever you have installed on your car, say you get a cold air intake and an exhaust, that's not going to do shit on its own. But if you tune it for it, that's going to be the best bang for your buck. I mean, I'm telling you, you're going to gain probably 30 wheel horsepower, I want to say. And gaining 30 wheel horsepower is nothing to scoff at. For only a few $100, that's nothing to scoff at. Because then next, what are you going to do? Supercharge it? That's thousands of dollars. So best bang for your buck, get it properly tuned. None of that email tune shit. Go and take it to an actual shop and have them tune it. Oh, this one, okay, we got way too many right here. So, but I'm going to answer a couple. Why a Mustang? So why did I pick a Mustang as my car? Honestly, this was as simple as it was. I wanted the cheapest car with the most amount of horsepower that I can get. And it just happened to be a Mustang. That was the only parameters. I didn't care about other cars. I just simply looked up car specs and I was like, wow, I can get a 2013 Mustang with 420 horsepower for around $20,000. That is cheap as shit compared to other cars, and you get 420 horsepower. And it's lighter than other cars. So that's how simple it was. I didn't end up going with that, but that's what I simply wanted. How much did the Mustang cost, including all the mods? Okay, I'm not going to answer that. It's going to take way too long. Would you buy a 240SX as a JDM project car? Probably not, because, well, I don't know. It just seems kind of, What do you think of drifting? It looks like fun. I'd actually like to get into it. See a 3-valve drift? That'd be pretty sick. Would you start drifting if given the chance? Yes. There, I answered those pretty quickly. Here you go. What's your opinion on Holden? Well, in America, we don't have many Holden cars here. I think the big one that we did have was the Chevy SS sedan. And if all of their cars are like that, then they have my respect, because that's a lot of fun. What are your thoughts and opinions on a 1969 Camaro? My dad handed it down to me now, and I need to restore it. Thanks. Keep up the good work with the videos. 1969 Camaro is probably one of my favorite generations for Camaros. And same with my dad. I think it's his favorite generation too. I mean, not only is the year a nice year, giggity giggity, but I mean, it's a great looking car. If I were to get a classic, a 1969 Camaro, a 1973 Nova, a Mustang of some sort, those would be like the cars that I'd want to get. So I like them. You should restore and you should take care of it. What car show my dad buy a Dodge Charger Scat Pack or a Ford Raptor or a Hellcat? Please answer. What car should my dad buy? Dodge Charger Scat Pack? Nope. Ford Raptor? Good option. Or a Hellcat? Another good option. Well, I don't know your dad. I don't know what he's going to use it for, but if he wants to go fast, Hellcat obviously. If he wants a truck that he can go off-roading and actually use it, then a Raptor. But I don't know your dad too well. Hellcat would be fun if he's trying to kill you. Raptor would be fun if he's trying to kill you in the desert. My goal car in life is a Maserati GT 2018. What are your opinions on it overall, like looks-wise, price, engine, and that's not how you spell customizations, would you do to one? I'm thinking Lambo doors to suit it, and maybe a wide body kit, small spoiler would be cool. Well, sorry, I don't know anything about Maseratis and Maserati GT 2018. Let me look it up. Alright, so I think you're talking about this. Yeah, I'm not a huge Maserati guy. The Maserati Ghibli just has a bad taste in my mouth. It's just a lot of recycled parts, and just personally not a huge Maserati guy. This is a good looking car right here, I'm not gonna lie. It's a good looking car. I don't think you need to do much to it. I wouldn't put Lambo doors on it. Real Maserati enthusiasts are going to know that they don't come stock with Lambo doors. The chick at Applebee's might not know, but real people are going to know that they don't come with Lambo doors. So I don't know. I'm not a huge Maserati guy, so I don't know how fast this car is, but it's a good looking car, just surface level. But I don't know, it looks expensive to modify. With the big old Maserati logo on the front, probably really expensive. Alright, next question. So like, I'm buying my own car, and my parents are helping me pay the insurance till I finish college, but they're saying they won't help me if my car's a coupe, because it's too expensive. So what sedans do you suggest? I'm thinking of a Charger or maybe an Infiniti. I prefer Charger since it looks nicer in my opinion, but the Infiniti probably has better reliability. Sounds like my parents. My parents were the exact same way. They hated the idea of me buying the car I have right now. They didn't want me to buy the 3-valve Mustang. They didn't help me buy the 3-valve Mustang. They told me that if I bought the 3-valve Mustang, I was going to have to move out. That's how far they went. Did I have to move out when I bought it? No. They bluffed on that. But they didn't help me at all, so I can relate to you heavily. And when they told me that, I was thinking of a Charger too. But it all just depends on what Charger. If you're going to buy a V6 Charger, then don't bother. I'm pretty sure the insurance on a V8 Charger is going to be just as bad as a coupe. An Infiniti would be a good option in my opinion. I don't know, maybe a BMW, but it all just depends. An Audi of some sort. Just go look for cheaper insurance. That's what I would do. That's exactly what I did actually. Just go and look for cheaper insurance. You're not gonna, if you're smart, you're not gonna get in a car accident anyway. Just go look for cheaper insurance. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe maybe go with the Infiniti. All right, next question. Hey man, is it worth building a 2008 Volvo XC90 3.2 liter turbo sleeper? I've seen some S80s with the same engine making 600 plus wheel horsepower with 30mm turbos. because in my mind it would be some crazy shit. It would be some crazy shit, but it's expensive shit to build a sleeper, especially on a car that's not usually built. It gets expensive. If you have the budget for it, go ahead, but if you're just modding it because it's just what you have at the moment, don't bother modding it. If you want another car, just save up and get the other car and build that. But if this is the car you want, then go ahead. Drew, do you think the car community will ever change ways? It seems all the people care about is horsepower. I don't think all the people care about is horsepower. It seems all the people care about camber nowadays. I wish all the people cared about horsepower because that'd be great. But no, I mean, where I live, man, it's like the complete opposite. No one gives a shit about horsepower. Everybody just fucking cares about sitting in parking lots and chilling. That's all they care about. It's boring. It is so depressing, at least right now in California. I don't like takeovers, but I miss like car cruises and Mexico nights. I miss that stuff. And it just seems like now it's just literally people pulling up and parking their cars and just sitting there and just like communicating with like 3 people and then going home. But let me know where you're at because I want to move there. Lowered or lifted truck? Depends on the truck. SRT 10, lowered. Raptor, raise it. Hello, my name is Carlos and I have a question about turbos and superchargers. Is it safe to boost? I've heard a lot of engines blowing up and fires and a lot of crazy stuff that happens, but what do you think is a safe PSI to boost in? So every motor is different. I know the 3-valve motors, they can handle a stock 450 wheel horsepower. Stock, you don't have to mod the motor. You can handle 450 and you're safe most of the time. A lot of cars and a lot of motors can handle a certain amount, but it all just depends on the motor and what they can handle. Obviously, stronger motors like the newer Coyotes can handle a lot more than the 3-valve. So it all just depends on the motor. But if you want to turbo or supercharge your car, you can. Just don't turn up the boost until you build your motor. Usually when people blow up their engines, it's because they really beat on their car, or it's not a super built motor and you know they just can't handle it, or it's a tuning error. There's a lot of variables that go into it, but if you play it safe and you have a good tuner, you'll be fine. Would you recommend a V6 Mustang as a beginner car? Yeah, why not? It's just a V6 Mustang. I mean, if you're just driving around and shit, I wouldn't recommend boosting it or wasting a lot of money on it, but if you just want to drive around and just drive it, it's fine. It's a fine car. What are some of the best beginner mods someone can do to their car? Exhaust, I would say, is a big one. Wheels and tires, obviously, and then getting some stiffer suspension if you're going to be doing some aggressive turning. Those would be the 3 main ones I would do. Hey, Drew, I wanted to ask you, would you choose a BRZ, a 350, and a 370 as a starter car? Love your vids. Keep up the great work. Thank you. So a starter car, I mean, a BRZ, if you have the money, would be okay. They're just slow. They look nice, but they're slow. A 350 is like the best of both worlds. You can make them fast if you get the HR motor. You can make them fast either way, but the HR motor kind of puts you ahead. And they're not too expensive. A 370, you're starting to get a little bit expensive unless you find a really old one. Honestly, I think probably 350 would be a good starter car, but it all just depends on budget. All right, last question. I think this is a pretty good one to end on too. Hey, Drew, I've got a question. If your car is boosted, does it affect how it drives as a normal daily driver? Like, do you have to apply less pressure to the gas pedal, or can you just drive it normally? Is more power more dangerous in a daily driver? So I've had a couple different types of superchargers on my car. I've had a traditional twin screw, and I've had a centrifugal, which is what I have now, which is a Pro Charger. And the twin screw, yeah, you could be a lot lighter on the gas pedal, a lot lighter, and you can get away with it. When I used to have my saline supercharger and I would like want to change lanes on the freeway, I can ease onto it in like 5th gear, 6th gear, and it would start to move. I wouldn't go flying, but it would have enough power to get it to start to move. With a centrifugal, when you're not building boost, it's driving around like an NA car. So it doesn't really affect it other than sound. Once you start building boost on a centrifugal or a turbo, that's when it really starts to affect it. So if you have a twin screw, yeah, it's going to affect it a little bit. You're going to have to be lighter on the gas pedal, which isn't really hard at all. If anything, it's kind of more relaxing because you don't have to try as much. But if you have a centrifugal or a turbo, you can be a lot, you can just pretty much drive it normal until you start building boost, and then that's when all the fun starts to happen anyway. So is more power more dangerous in a daily driver? No. I mean, you're in control of it. I mean, there's super bikes out there with like 200 plus horsepower to the wheels, and it's like you're not going to instantly die if you get on it. You're only going to go as fast as you push the pedal. Anyways, I think that was a good question to end on right there. I like that. You guys had a lot of good questions this episode, so let me know what you guys think I should title the series. I do like helping you guys out and answering questions. I get a lot of questions on my Instagram, and I don't go through them because I hate Instagram DMs. They're so slow, and I just don't want it to be super crowded. So if I can turn this into a series and help you guys that would be great. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up, comment down below what you think I should title this series, subscribe to see more videos like this one, and until next video, peace.